And what you said is you said I had to look at the word relationship differently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
I had to change my relationship with the word relationship. And
I'm sorry, Rome, really quick. Ladies, he's single. He's single. Carry on. Carry on. Guys, welcome back. We are back in the Who Can Relate headquarters. We're back with another a new set. A lot of plant life, which is love for me. And before we get rolling, I was thinking about this on my way over here. I just want to say, I got my dream job. I will beep that out, but I got my dream job, and ironically enough, I'm the one paying for it for now. But anyways, I'm super grateful, super thankful, and all the love from the Who Can Relate community is real. I appreciate you guys. So I want to introduce you to my guest. Today we're going to be talking about intentionally dating, just intentions, period, for moving in life, but particularly pertaining to the dating scene. So allow me to introduce my guest. I actually have to read from a script because my man's got some credentials here, and I didn't want to mess him up. So my man Rome Green is a member of the comedy collective Dormtainment. He's an actor, writer, musician, and overall creative entrepreneur. He also is the co-owner of the sunglasses brand, The Shady Side Up.
Shady Side Up,
as
man.
you see.
You know.
So without further ado, Rome, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Listen, man, I appreciate you. You know, it's all good. I appreciate you for having me, first and foremost. Like I said, man, we've literally known each other like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And it feels like, you know, when genuine connections are happening. So thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Ladies, he handed me a book when I came in. He knows I like to read, and he gave me some gems, and that's an important thing. And we both have on the same brand shoes. We didn't even know we were going to have that. So that's dope, man. So yeah, thank you for having me,
yes,
bro.
sir. Appreciate you.
Let me not keep these. I was going
to say, I was shout them out again.
I just want to let y'all know. Shady Side Up. So if you need your shades, we got the shades for the ladies, the men, all that, man.
Oh yeah, I just threw the lower third right here.
Gotcha.
Also, this is important to add to your intro.
Yeah. Ladies.
My man is single.
Come on, man. You know.
I said he's dating with intentions. Okay. So we're not for the small talk. I don't want to take your words.
Yeah,
we're not doing that anymore. I put too much work in.
We jumping right in.
I put too much work in to be out here wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Out here with the WYDs all day. Like, no, we can't do that.
Nah. So we are gonna get into it, and like I said, this one is gonna be super dope, and I think it's necessary. So before we get totally into the topic, background on you. Again, you got quite the script.
All right, I can give you a quick little script. So I'm a military brat, born in Germany, Heidelberg, Germany. Don't know any German except the word kindergarten and Gesundheit.
Okay.
I then moved to Massachusetts. Then I moved to Panama.
Oh, dope.
Then I moved to Florida, North Carolina. My mother's from North Carolina. My father's from Florida.
Nice.
And so I had a nice little traveling childhood, which I think really shaped a lot, though. You get to see a lot when you're young, and you see different people, cultures, and ethnicities. And so and then I settled in North Carolina. That's where I got my country roots, so shout out to North Carolina. And then I went to college in Atlanta, where I met my boys that I'm with right now, Dormtainment. I met them at the age of 18 on the very first day of college, which is how you know it's divine intervention. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And then we moved out here when I was 25 in 2013, and so we've been out here grinding ever since. And we've got to do things with Comedy Central. I was on in the first season of Insecure.
Oh, whoa, that's my show.
Yeah,
hold on now.
First season.
What episode?
Remember when she went to the play and there was like a hood Jesus and Judas?
Yeah,
I was a hood Jesus.
Dope.
Yeah. So that was fun. Shout out to Issa. We've known her for a while. She's great people.
For sure.
So just been blessed to be out here doing what I love. And doing it with intention.
Hey,
you know
what
I'm
man.
saying? So
look at you with the segues, dog. Doing my job for me. I appreciate you.
He's a professional, y'all.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an easy day. Okay, so let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
I know everyone is clicking this right now, with clickbait intentions. And
if you're clicking it, like it.
Come on now. Subscribe.
Like come on
notifications.
That's what we doing.
5-star rank, all the above. So what really intrigued me when we had you on Enjoy the Podcast, shout out to Jared and Lois, Enjoy the Podcast.
Shout out.
It was very impressive how I felt like I found a fellow intentional man. It's rare out here, unfortunately.
For sure.
And it was just really intriguing to me to dive deep in that. Your boy's out of the single game. No offense, thank God.
Amen.
And so I was like, I can maybe tap back in. But when I was single, I thought I was dating with intentions. Mm-hmm. The only intentions I was dating were selfish intentions.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Who can relate?
We've been there plenty.
So let's talk about when a guy has been doing the work.
Yeah.
The internal work, the mental work, and is ready to start dating as the new and improved him.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is understanding that when you step out, life is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? Now that you've made the choice,
right, it's
going to be different when you step out and date. And that's the hard part, understanding that I'm not the same me no more. So now your conversations are a little different.
Right.
Now you're like we said, the small talk. Now you're diving into things. You're diving into deeper things.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're diving into, what are your passions? What makes you vulnerable? Things like that. Stuff that's a little uncomfortable when you're not evolved or not dealing with people who are on the same path.
Yeah.
And once you do the work personally, now it's time to be a practitioner of the work. Now it's time to understand, like, all right, I can't just talk about it. I got to be about it.
Well, you got to take off the training wheels eventually.
Okay. Come on, man. Because I remember the first time I tried to ride my bike with no hands. It was bad.
Right.
It turned out bad.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, I'm new to this, so let me take it slow. It's not something like you say. It's direction over speed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about how fast I can get back out here and date this girl. No, it's like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Let me see what energy flows to me where I connect and then go from there. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people can just continue to put in the work so much that they're so fearful of definitely getting hurt. Now that I'm a new man or a new woman, and I'm like fragile out here. Yeah. But it's also like I think they can continue to do the work because they're afraid to try, because if they fail. Yep. And it's I mean that's the inevitable. Yeah. Like you said, when you were riding your bike without hands, you might fall. You might get some scratches, whatever, a couple of bruises, but at the end of the day, you'll get back up, you'll keep practicing, you keep trying. So it's important that people actually eventually take off the training wheels and see what your training has got you. Yeah. See what it's done for you.
And I think while you're doing that, sometimes you can get lost in the process of going out and doing this dating thing again. But I think reflection breeds a sense of confidence. So I think if you reflect on where you came from while you're out doing it, you'll be even more confident. Like, oh, I know I'm not that no more. So I know how to move differently. Yeah. I remember how I used to approach in the bar. We're not doing that no more. Right. Pre-COVID, of course. We're not doing that no more. Now we're doing it this way. You know what I'm saying? So I think that reflection breeds a sense of confidence. And that's just with anything in life, career, anything, like thinking about sitting in it and understanding, like, I'm not where I used to be, and this is the new me.
Perfectly put, because I have a quote. I got a couple for today, and the first one is perfect. It says, "Pain plus reflection equals progress."
Look at us, man. We just out here.
Pain plus reflection equals progress.
Every time.
Every single time. And without the pain, without the reflection, with the awareness, you're not going to make any progress. You're going to be stuck in.
But you can't hold the pain.
Right.
And that's what a lot of us do.
Got to release it.
You got to let that thing go. Like, it's going to happen.
So we had a great pre-call, and you said something that I totally relate to, and I think a lot of people will too. You said, does it make sense to do the work while you're single? And obviously some work, like if you got some characteristic traits that you got to work out.
You need to go home and
Come
think
on
about. Yeah.
But when it comes to the work in relationship, that's where I'm assuming you meant by that, and it's important to kind of dissect that a little bit. So let's unpack it. So obviously from a male's perspective,
I think it's important to do the work while you are single. I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
While you're single, because it's almost like you don't have nobody there to micromanage the work.
To kind of hold you accountable.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have a sense of discipline, and discipline is one of the most important things you can have in a relationship.
Totally. In life and definitely
in life in general. So
yeah.
if you're disciplined without the partner, then with the partner should be easy.
Sure.
So I think doing the work by yourself, because solitude is powerful. So many people are afraid to be by themselves. But when you lock in and you hit that golden moment of like, all right, I'm disciplined, I'm getting up. Like, that's why I always say routine breeds success, because I'm in a routine where I'm up at 5 a.m. You know, I'm meditating, I'm reading, I'm hitting the gym, and this whole routine has made me disciplined, and has made me realize like, oh, all I need to do is do this routine in order to like start to shape and mold and become the person I am. And of course, it gets easier over time.
Sure.
So same thing with disciplining yourself. Working on yourself is very, very, it's admirable, because a lot of people can't do it by themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, on the flip side, it's great to do it with a partner, because you got a personal trainer, and then you have someone who comes and just hands you a nutrition plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
The nutrition plan, you can hand it to me. I'm gonna try my best. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
To stay on it.
But the trainer, I'm on your neck. Like I'm like, hey, get up, do this, da 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 da.
Right.
That's what the partner is in the relationship, and I think that is the important part when you are on the journey to say, hey, all right, I've done a little bit of the work, but now for me to find the rest, let me get with somebody who maybe is in the same realm, and we're working together. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be fully there. You don't have to be fully there,
right?
Because there's something there's something nice about being in a beautiful mess.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah.
It's because when it's too perfect, it's like, you know, you look at those perfect, you're like, some man.
Yeah, they're not being totally honest here.
You're like,
what's going on?
But a beautiful mess, I mean, that's what some of the most famous paintings are. You know what I'm saying? And so if you want to paint this picture of a great relationship, sometimes you got to dive into a beautiful mess. Yeah.
So what's the difference between, I guess, let me rephrase it. How do you know if something's a beautiful mess or just a mess?
I think you use your discernment. Okay. I think we're grown enough now that it's like, all right, a beautiful mess is I have a problem. I bring it to you. We talk like adults. We figure it out.
Right.
A mess is I have a problem. I bring it to you. You shut down. You leave. You stomp. You cry. It's like, all right, hold on. I don't know how long we can.
Or you supposed to figure this out.
Or you,
not me.
And it's like, hey, I'm trying to figure it out. That's why we're talking. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference between just a complete mess, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it in the air. You'll feel it in the energy. You'll be like,
sure.
It's so amazing how we as humans, we're very, when you're in tune with your spirit and you're in tune and you're in alignment. That's why being in alignment is very good, because when you're in alignment, like you can look at it, I take it back to your body in the gym. When you're in alignment, things move. Your base is good. When you're out of alignment, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to go get that line. I need to, know.
Sure.
So when you're in alignment with somebody, you automatically know like this is the right thing. And when you're out of alignment, your soul and your spirit and your body will tell you you'll be stressed. You'll have headaches. Right. You'll be like, why am I fatigued? But we'll ignore it because we don't want to really admit that we made a mistake and wasted time.
And we'll try to force it.
And we'll try to force it.
And the men force it because the ego, no, I'm going to make this work.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm just tripping. Like, it's going to be all right.
Right.
Bro, she threw a carton of milk at you. Who throws milk? Like, what?
It's a lot of cleanup.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's good because, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to recognize that though, right? You have to recognize like, I have to do the internal work. You have to recognize that you may have done what you needed to do while you were single in order to obtain and attract and manifest your partner to you. However, still leave some room for improvement there.
Yeah.
Right. You got to leave like a little bit of space for the person to come in and say, that's great what you did on your own, but I kind of like things this way. And where's the compromise?
There's a compromise.
And vice versa.
You got to get tired. It's just like, I remember when I was tired of being broke.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. So how can I fix it?
Sure.
So you have to say, I'm tired of being in these situations that it's draining me.
Right.
I'm not getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Start there and reverse engineer it and figure out where can I make it better? Where can I do the work at? What are some things that I'm not admitting that I need to change?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had to admit I was a person that wasn't going to fully commit.
Yeah.
At a time in my life, I wasn't 1 foot in, 1 foot out, just dance and just trying to figure it out. But then it's like, bro, how long you gonna dance before the music shuts off?
And how you gonna know? Like both feet are gonna get tired being in and out. So how do you know which room just to sit down and stay put in? You know what I mean?
Just calm down.
Yeah,
like,
and just see where it goes. But I think that comes down to you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I had to learn that the hard way. I was too comfortable in a lot of areas of my life.
Oh yeah,
work, relationships, friends, you name it.
Yeah.
And once I started getting uncomfortable, the growth began.
And you're like, oh.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's a little uncomfortable to sit with. It's a little uneasy, and this is hard, and this is different. I'm breaking my routine.
Yeah.
But I know what the bigger picture is.
Yeah.
And as they say, comfort and growth cannot coexist. You can't grow and be the most comfortable you've ever been.
No.
So at one point or another, you got to make a decision at the crossroads.
Yeah.
I'm either going to grow and be uncomfortable, or I'm just going to sit here, be comfortable being broke, comfortable being single, breaking these girls' hearts, causing damage and all this other stuff.
Because it's like, for me, it just started to get to a point where I was like, all right, Rome, what do you want? And then it like I said, it comes down to a binary thing. Do you want love, success, happiness, or do you want to do what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Those are two different things. Because if you want love, success, happiness, peace,
right,
you kind of gotta go find it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just keep doing what you do, that's fine. But just know that timeline could be, we don't know what that is. And you don't know what type of damage it could leave later on, or the damage you're leaving on another woman, or even another young brother that you might look up to you or something like that. You just gotta be very binary with it. Yes or no. Do I want this, and do I want that? And you just gotta say like, I think I'm gonna choose the uncomfortable route, like you said. I'm gonna choose what's not the norm. You know.
Well, you said something, and I'll let you phrase how you want to, but on the pre-call, when you said it, I'm like, whoa, like, I don't know if I've ever heard another man admit that. I don't know if I don't know if women have ever heard men admit that, because at a certain point in time, when you're out here single and you're having your fun, and deep down you want to settle, but you don't know how. You don't know how to compromise. You're too uncomfortable being uncomfortable, so on and so forth.
It gets out the door quick.
Yeah, exactly. It gets tiring. It gets draining.
It gets draining.
And again, back to the phrase that you use, I'll let you say it.
It gets lonely. It gets lonely.
Bro, it gets lonely sometimes.
I remember, like, when I said it, JD was like,
bro,
and I was like, really? Nobody's, it's a word. Like, no, what are we so afraid of you? Like,
listen.
And the thing is, I'll explain it. Like, I told him, I was like, I was at a point where, okay, I had my friends, had my family, all this stuff, and things were going great. But I was like, why do I feel this? I feel a weird void out. And everything in the masculine energy in me is like, you good, bro.
You good,
like,
dog.
Come on, man. The sun is like, they say mercury in Gatorade and all that stuff. Mercury's and Switchblade, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, nah, Rome, like, you lonely, man.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay. It's a feeling.
And and the fact that you could admit that, the fact that you're aware of that, and the fact that you didn't let it just be a comfortable thing you sat with.
Yeah.
because I think a lot of men, especially black men, are accustomed to growing up without fathers, accustomed to growing up to broken homes, and they're used to either seeing their mom alone or their pops alone. Even though the pops got all the women lined up, they're still alone. There's such an emptiness there.
That's why he's out drinking. That's why he's out doing
exactly.
Yeah.
So for you to say, you know what, might be, I might want to switch it up.
I might want to.
and what you said is you said I had to look at the word relationship differently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
I had to change my relationship with the word relationship. And
I'm sorry, Rome, really quick, ladies. He's single. He's single. Carry on.
I had to change my relationship with the word relationship, because what a lot of people don't understand, especially in the black community, you know, you grow up with layers and layers of, and it's not their fault. It's the system that we brought, but it's layers and layers of broken homes. It's layers and layers of divorce. Layers and layers of, bro, you don't, like, how many girls you can get? Like, you know, how many girls you get this day and that day? And so it's layers of these things that, granted, talking to different people, being attracted to people, that's a natural thing. That's fine. But like diving into so many different situations at one time may not be the best, because I don't know if we as humans are, I know we're built sexually like that, but I don't know if we're built emotionally like that.
Right.
Sexually, of course, we're men. We could spread seed. That's what it is. We're attracted, and lust will always be there. All that stuff. But emotionally, it's so much more, because you have to dig into the core of somebody, and when you are emotionally spread out, it's like, whoa. So I said I had to change my relationship with the word relationship, meaning instead of looking at relationship as, oh God, I'm gonna be arguing all day. Oh God, I gotta check in with somebody. Oh God, like, I can't maneuver how I want to. You mean I just got to talk to them all day? Like,
and you mean I got to change some of my ways?
Yeah, I got to. So I can't just tell. I can't just go with the boys and do what I want.
I'll be back. I'm at where I'm at.
I'm at where I'm at. I can't do that no more. When you're single, don't ask me that.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, I've been looking at a relationship as a terrible thing. That sounds terrible. But when I said, oh, if I change my relationship with the word relationship, oh, I can have a bond. I can come to somebody when I'm feeling in a vulnerable place that they only know how to heal me.
Right.
I can create a business with this person. I can lift this person up, which when you're giving, it's one of the highest forms of freedom. And I was like, I've been looking at it all wrong. I see what's going on. And now my relationship with that word has changed. So now and because what happens is when you have that toxic view on it, that's all you start to see.
Sure.
Because you got friends that are like, oh yeah, my girl doing it. But like, what about your successful friend? Talk to them about their relationship. Like, holler at them. Like, but you avoided that because you was like, no, I'm not going to go talk to them. Like, you know, I'm sure they got their problems, but and that's the thing. So I had to change my relationship with the word relationship. Yeah.
Which is beautiful. Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing that, because it's important for not only women to hear that. All these women are like, do you have a brother? Do you have any siblings? I'm like, Rome's coming on the show. I got you. Don't even worry about it. As your Instagram handle slides up right now.
Follow me, man. Let's talk.
But yeah, no, I also want to dive into, again, this will help out women, but for the men who are sitting there like, you know what? I was meant to hear this. I was kind of thinking along these lines.
Yep.
What are some of the, how do I want to phrase it? I don't want to say tools, because it's even before the tools. What were some of the moments of awareness? I know you mentioned some stuff, and then what were like the calls to action that you had to create?
When I changed my relationship, like what triggered it? Yeah. Being back home, like this isn't like, don't think that I've been doing this for years. This is new. You know what I'm saying? But I love it because I love jumping into new things and and discovering myself. So I'm back home. I went to visit my dad, and me and my dad really got closer when I was about 16, 17. Not that he wasn't there, but of course, when you're younger, you don't understand certain things. Him and my mom are going through things. So, but I remember I went to spend a summer with him when I was like 16, 17, and we really got close. And I was like, okay, this is a stand-up gentleman who just made some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And which is, I mean, that's me, that's you. Everyone does. Everybody. When you're a kid, all you know is, where's my dad? Or what are you doing? Or what's going on? So I'm I'm kicking it with my dad, and he asked me just a very pungent question, and he was like, hey, did me and my mom splitting up when you were younger affect your view on love and relationships? And I had never really thought about it to that point, because of course I go through life, yeah, my parents were divorced, whatever, but then I started to think about it. If that's what I seen growing up, like a little bit of fighting here, and then a split, and then, you know, trying to figure out when I'm getting dropped off over here doing that, this, you don't think it affects you, but I was like, you know what? I think it did. Right. I said, I think it did. I said, but I don't think it affected me to the point where I was like, I'm never gonna, you know, love again. It was more so I would remember certain aspects and be like, I don't want that to happen. So that would keep me away from it. I don't want that to happen. Right. Part of it. And once again, that was me looking at relationships as I don't want that to happen. Right. Not realizing that there was a point when they were fine. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they were young. My mom was 19. My dad was 20. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But then my dad remarried. And I was telling him, I was like, but look, you remarried and everything's fine, and you found your person that you want to be with. I said, that gave me hope. My mom remarried. She did end up getting divorced again, but it didn't affect me because now I'm older and I understand things. Sure. Things happen. So I think that was the catalyst that made me say, I'm looking at relationships wrong here. Something isn't sitting well. And of course, I have like Southern values growing up. It was always, graduate, get married, go to work, die. You know what I'm saying?
That's Midwest too, bro.
We're just not in that day and age anymore. It's a little bit different, but the core of me still understands that there's value. There's value in love.
And so what happens when the should I, could I, what if it doesn't work? You have all this anxiety and these anxious feelings creep up because, again, you've done so much work, you know, and let's be honest, it's a lot of work, it's hard, and you want to be fragile with yourself now, with the new and improved you.
Because you're like, listen, man, I'm a new egg. I ain't trying to crack this shell.
Fresh flower, you know what I'm saying? Be gentle with me, so to speak. And so I want to touch on that and how if we can try to help people to give them a little bit of a boost to say, it's okay, you got to get out there. You have to just try it out.
Yeah, but I would just say the anxiety of thinking about it is worse than actually doing it. And that's with anything that we do. Right. Like the anxiety of like, oh, I want to be a photographer, but man, I just, I don't know. Like all I got is my iPhone. Yeah. You know how long and exhausting that is until you just be like, all right, let me just pick up a camera. Like, what's the
worst thing that could happen?
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, totally.
And I think that goes along perfect with what we're talking about. It's like the anxiety of like, will she break my heart? Will he break my heart? Am I going to waste my time? That's where I had a problem at. Like, because time is, I love watches, and time is the one thing we won't get back.
Won't get it back.
I'm like, man, but then again, you got, like I said, you got to switch the way you're looking at it. It's like, why don't I just do it? And instead of thinking I wasted my time, how about I was learning in my time? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Learning in my time, understanding that, okay, maybe this didn't work for me, but I learned that and I understood this because I was intentional about what I was doing. Right. When you're aimlessly moving, you're shooting in the dark. Yeah. You're just shooting in the dark. But like that sniper, man, like the sniper waits. He pauses. He can't sweat. He's looking at it. And you got to be a sniper with it when you're being intentional. You got to understand. Precision. Totally. And you may even still miss, but you took your time and you understood what was going on. Right. And, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, I'm tired of going with the flow. I don't think there's anything wrong with going with the flow. I think it's okay to go with the flow as long as the two streams are headed in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? That's the most powerful thing. Because when you're dating intentionally, that means like, all right, we're two streams, we're coming together, we're moving along. When you're doing it intentionally, you're understanding that, okay, hey, at the end of this, there's an ocean of love and relationship that I'm headed to. Right. At the end of this, I do want to create a bond and create something with you. So that's easier to go with the flow then, because if we go off this way, it's okay. We know where we're going.
Exactly.
But when it's just a bunch of flow, it can go down, up. You don't know where. It's like, where does this stream lead to? It leads to nothingness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing with going with the flow. People might not like when people say, "Oh, I want to go with the flow." No, there's nothing wrong with that. But does the flow have the right stream and direction to it? You know, I think that's one of the biggest things.
And that's, like you said, it's being precision, being intentional with your partner. And a lot of times too, like I think it's hard for people to have a conversation when they don't see the relationship moving forward.
Yeah.
A lot of men well, at least for me, I would just drag them along because I didn't like the awkward conversation, the we need to talk kind of thing. And I also didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
But in the end, I was going to make her cry. But it's always worse to make her cry later than to cry now. Yeah.
And I think we feel that way because we feel as if, she was never my girlfriend. Do I really owe her that whole conversation? And you kind of do because you've took the time out to court her or have sex with her or whatever. Like if you took time to share some type of energy, at least be a decent human and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Where we're at is not really working for me.
Right.
And you know, and it's true, women don't take rejection well. They don't take rejection well. Men, we're kind of bred from rejection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's about being delicate, but also firm enough that she understands that you're serious. That it's not just you saying this one day and then, but your actions need to match that. Once you say that, move forward and you know,
follow up
those actions. And it's a tough thing. And one thing just sparked thought in my head is I got to the point where I got so mad. I remember specifically it's one situation. I got so mad because I did everything right. I took the girl out. I did this. I tried to call and text and all these things, and it was still empty. It's still nothing. And I started beating myself up like, yo, what's the point of this stuff? It just doesn't make any sense. I've done everything I need to do. She's not responding. It's taking 2 days for her to respond.
Right.
She's ghosting. And I said, wait. Goes back to what I said earlier. This ain't in alignment. Let it go. It's just not it.
If it no longer serves you, let it go.
Let that thing go.
It's okay.
I was like, I'm stressing myself out for someone they're not stressed.
It's not for you though.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do the trying to get your attention. This is what I want to say. I want fellas listen to this, ladies listen to this. This is me, my opinion. I don't chase women anymore. This is what I mean by that. You grow up, you gotta chase the girl. I like the chase. I want the chase. That's done. Because if I'm chasing you, that means you're running away from me. Why would I keep doing that? Why would I keep wasting my time chasing something that's running away from me?
Right.
I'm 32 years old. These legs ain't built for chasing no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I will pursue you because pursuing involves intention.
Right.
Pursuing involves, hey, look, this is what I'm about. This is where I'm at in my life. I would love to get to know you better. I would love to, even, hey, have a nice lunch and just, talk and see. That's a nice pursuing. And then following up like, hey, I had a good time, great time. If you have some time next week, let's set up a date. But if I'm chasing, I'm like, what you doing?
Sure.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, da-da-da. Hey, you want to go here? Da-da-da. It's too desperate. It feels like it's driven by ego because she ain't talking me back, so I'm gonna talk to you. I'm done chasing. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I will pursue. I won't chase because like I said, if I'm chasing you, you're running away from me. And Duke actually told me that.
Oh, dope! Shout out to Duke.
Shout out to Duke.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Episode 5, the vulnerable Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Something that you said is as far as pursuit, right? You can, in a healthy way, pursue. Like there's a healthy pursuit whole game plan, right? And the other thing is choose the woman who chooses you.
Yeah.
Ladies, choose the man who chooses you.
The way of the superior man is a whole chapter in there.
Come on now.
Choose the woman who chooses you because as men we're just taught to just go after.
Right.
But what about what about the other side of it? There's a whole other side.
Right.
And I think, like I said, the healthy pursuing, all that involves is knowing the difference between transparency and honesty. You know what I'm saying? And, transparency is something that is given, and honesty is something that is asked for. So when you're pursuing healthy, you're very transparent.
Right.
Until you get inside of the relationship, and then it might break down into honesty. Hey, what do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Those are two totally different things, and you have to understand the balance of both of them in order to make things work.
It's one of those things I said on IG a couple weeks ago, and when I heard this quote, when you learn the lesson, you don't have to go back to class.
That's it.
You don't have to go back anymore. Yeah. Like you got all that you needed that was meant for you to get.
Yep.
It's time to go.
And other students gonna try to pull you in class. Hey man, where you at?
No, you're like, bro, I passed. I learned all my lessons. I threw them in the book bag. I'm on to the next class. I'm gonna keep it moving. But I think a lot of that is because of a lot of things. But I'm gonna hone in on one thing right here. I think men, unfortunately, think in the short term.
Yeah.
And women think in the long term.
Yeah.
And because of that, we recognize the worth and the value of the woman when it's too late.
Yep.
Okay. And then what happens is she's tired of us.
Yep.
She breaks up with us, or the relationship ends, however. And then our ego kicks in and we're like, whatever, man, it's not me, it's her type of thing. And then 6 months later, and there's a whole study about the 6-month process. The first 6 months of a breakup, the man is out here just living life. He ain't thinking about, even if he is thinking about you, he ain't nothing, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The women take out their magnifying glass, their microscope, they're dissecting everything. They're doing the work. What did I do wrong? What did he do wrong? What did we do wrong? How can I prevent this for the next one? So on and so forth. And then after 6 months, the woman's like, I'm good now. I'm healed. I learned the lesson. I ain't going back to his class.
Not going back to that class no more.
And then the guy comes in, like the Future meme.
Yep.
You know, all these gifts out here in life made me think about the gifts I used to give you.
Absolutely. I was watching Who Can Relate, and I thought about who can relate to both of us being together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I related to the, relatability of, the relations that we had. And I was saying, who else can,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's one of those things where because men think in the short term and women think in the long term, I think a lot of times it's like two ships in the night, unfortunately. And oftentimes men, again, don't realize it in the moment, the bigger picture, like you said about the stream analogy.
Yeah. And what we got to understand is that women and the feminine and the divine energy of them is the ocean.
Right.
And we as men have to slowly build the bridges and canals that gap and bridge the two together. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. When men think in the short term, we're basically thinking about long-term lust. We don't immediately go into like, hey, I wonder how her heart is. I wonder what business she runs right now. I wonder, like, we don't go into those things immediately off top. Of course, it is general attraction. That's fine.
Sure.
But then, I mean, especially younger me, I was like, all right, well, shoot, how fast can I get her to the crib?
Right.
How fast can we?
The wrong intentions.
Yeah. How fast can we get it going? And then, once I release, and we all know what we're talking about here.
That's right.
I'm like, man, I don't like you like that.
I hate to laugh.
I hate it, but it's a switch.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no wonder I don't like her like that, because I was blinded, so I never really even knew her like that. But what if? And you start to think, but what if I actually knew her? Even a little bit. Like, what if we actually hung out, we had a good time, and then something like that happens? It's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? You have some type of foundation.
Sure.
A house without a foundation is just going to fall. And that's what we got to realize. A relationship without a foundation, a friendship, a bit, whatever, it's going to fall. And so that short-term thinking that men have, yes, it's natural, but we got to get out of it. You got to fight.
And see, like back to the house analogy, it takes time to build a house. So for men out there at the short term, what kind of house can you build in like a month? I think is that enough time for the foundation?
2-story shoebox.
Maybe the post. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you really build as a solid foundation?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't, and you can't rush something like that.
Nope.
You can't rush your dream home. You can't rush your dream girl.
Yep.
So on and so forth. So it's just one of those things I think people don't understand. And our marital therapist gave us this. She talks about the walls of a home.
Yeah.
And AKA a marriage.
Yeah.
And in no particular order, the left or the right side, but the left side, let's just say, is communication. Mm-hmm. The right side of the home is trust. Mm-hmm. And at the very top is accountability. And at the want, to the core, the want to make this work. Not about who's right or wrong. Mm-hmm. It's about what's right or wrong from this relationship, and so on and so forth. And honesty, you can throw that in there too. Throw it on the windows, whatever you need. Yeah. My point is there's a lot that goes into building a relationship. Yeah. And if you're not in it for the long haul, what are we doing?
All that is understanding that love doesn't keep a relationship and marriage together. Growth does.
Right. Love
keeps you guys in unison together, but growth keeps you guys elevating as a whole. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Together.
Yeah. When you have love and no growth, this is what happens. I got plenty of friends that I love. I got love for them. Do I hang out with them every day? No, because we're not growing in the same direction. It's two different parts. Right. But the friends that I'm growing with, I could see, like, if you off top, I know we're going to be friends a while because I know the type of man. I could see the growth. My group that I've been with since I was 18, we grew together. Sure. Fight, do all that. We still here. That's what people have to realize. Like, love is like the basic foundation. I love you. We here together. Boom. Right. You don't just stop after that.
You got to build on it.
You have to understand that, maybe 5 years from now, she's not going to be the same person. So I need to figure out where she's going, where she's growing. He's not going to be the same person. He used to not like mangoes, but now he wants mango salad all the time. Why is he doing that? He's just evolved. He's growing. Maybe he found something in mangoes that are helping him out. You have to understand, and you can't judge the person for growing. As soon as that judgment comes in, everything starts to get messed up, and it just doesn't feel right after that. You know what I'm saying? So I think understanding the difference between growth and love, and understand how all of that is needed to encompass a marriage or relationship is very important.
But here we are with what appears to be all the answers to the test. Yeah. Okay. But in order to get these answers, at least for me, I think I was 30. Yep. As soon as I turned 30, there was a lot of switches that went off. Yep.
And you low key, you probably started, I don't mean to interrupt you. You probably started slightly 28, 29, totally. Thought about it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. But I didn't know what lights to turn on. Yeah. Right? I walked into a room full of light switches, and I was like, it's like the control panel. Yeah. I'm like, I got my flashlight. I'm like, damn, which room is this again? All right. Babe, is it on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
ego, communication. Okay. That. Oh God, I don't know what
avoidant, anxious, abandonment issues. Damn, what do I start?
Love language.
Exactly. Yeah. Communication's a two-way street? What the hell kind of switch is this?
I don't like this switch.
So you have all these, like, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It was overwhelming for me, and I also knew what I had to repair instead of repeat. Yep. That was a huge piece of it. So for me, it was 30. I think you mentioned it was like, late 20s, maybe 30 for you. Time, yeah. But also, I guess the question is, in case the women are thinking, how do I want to phrase this for the fellas? Because I'm going to quote J-Lo, okay? It's not me, it's J-Lo, okay? Yeah. J-Lo said it. She said, men aren't worth a damn until she even said 33. Let's just go with 30, okay? Because I just turned 34. You're 32, about to be 33. Yeah. So let's go with 30, okay? Question is, do you personally think men should not be even considering a serious life partner of a relationship until they're 30?
Yeah, I think that is a true statement. Yeah. Of course, we know there are some caveats in there. We get it. There's some diamonds in the rough in there.
Sure.
But like when we really break it down to the core of it, after you get out of college, you're like 22. You are a child.
You don't think you are.
You don't think you are.
You're a grown-ass kid.
You are a grown-ass kid with responsibilities.
Right.
And granted, say you meet somebody at that age. I mean, maybe now because of podcasts like this, because of evolving men who have younger brothers, and maybe now they're starting to do the work a little bit earlier.
Sure.
But if we're taking it just from general standpoint,
right.
that work isn't getting done till late 20s, early 30s.
I don't think it's going to be, it may attempt to be done, but it's not going to be at the core, the genuine, sustainable change.
You have to get tired.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to get the one thing you have to get out of your head, and this took me a long time. The grass is not always greener. I've heard it a million times, but I kept thinking it was. And I kept peeking in the other neighbor's lawn, like, their grass is green. But then I realized, well, yeah, it's green because they water it. They maintain it. They feed it.
They cut the weeds out.
You know what I'm saying? Like they take pride in their grass. They take pride in their woman, in their marriage, and their relationships all around them.
And you see that and you understand, like, oh, they're just blossoming where they're planted. You know what I'm saying? They have their garden. They're taking this time and they're really getting in depth with the roots of what they want. And you're like, oh, okay. So, but even then, like I said, I do believe 30 is that age. She was a little strong with it. Ain't worth a damn. It's a little strong, but I understand where she come from as a woman. She probably done dealt with a lot. But I think that is very true because it's this ageism thing that we have to get out of. People think like, oh, if I don't get married by 30, my life is over. Put it in this perspective. Like, you turn 30. Look how long it takes for you to turn 30. Even if you were to marry somebody at 32, and y'all spend 40 years, like you're 70, like that's a long time.
Right.
This ageism thing has to stop. We have to understand that 30 is young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
28 is young. 26 these are young ages that, and in your 20s, you're barely making money. You're figuring out life. You're evolving as a man or a woman.
Right.
But when that 30 hits, it's like a light comes on and you're like, all right, we're here now. I believe 30 is a pivotal age when you should really, not saying you shouldn't take anybody serious before, but you're going to have a different perspective on the relationship when you're 30. For sure.
A different perspective, understanding.
All that.
A whole bunch of clarity.
Yeah. And I think you'll also understand that, you don't have to go on this whole search to look for a soulmate. You don't have to go on this whole search to, I gotta find my soulmate. Yeah. I personally believe that there are multiple soulmates. But I think there's only one person that you do life with. Two totally different things. The person that you do life with, man, like y'all move in unison. Like you jump, she jumps.
Right.
She swings, you swing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You guys are together doing life. You're growing, like we said before. You're investing in each other. You're doing these things. Having a soulmate just means you're somebody you're connected to, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But doing life is a whole nother different thing.
And doing it together is always going to be easier.
It's always going to be easier.
Always. And the thing is, I said on the Not My Soulmate episode, the quote from Esther Perel, you either want a love partner or a life partner.
Yeah.
So to your point, it's about going through and tackling life with a partner together.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of work that comes into a marriage, a lot of work that comes into even getting to the marriage part, right? But as long as you have someone that you feel like you can fight with, because you're going to fight, that you can fight with, that you can communicate with, you can be comfortable and honest. You feel like there's no judgment. As men, we feel like we can confide in this woman, which says everything to us. That has a lot to do with it. But the only way you're going to figure that out, tying it all back together, is if you actually try. And like you said, understand too, you're going to have more than one soulmate. You're going to have different experiences with different people.
Yeah.
But that's also depending on where you are in your life. Yeah. Right? Like the person I am today at 34 compared to the person I was at 29 is literally night and day.
180.
Night and day. Done. So if I met my wife at 29, I would not be married to her. She would not. She's like, yeah, you got some stuff, but you got way more cons than pros.
I'm not dealing with it.
No, so it's one of those things where people have to pay attention to the timing, right? As you said, to the soulmate thing, you can have a lot of soulmates. It's one thing to have chemistry with somebody. It's another thing to have the right timing with somebody. But on the Evolved Man title, because that's what it is now, what to a woman does an evolved man look like?
Number one, accountability. Man.
Dog, say it again. Because listen, a lot of women don't think men can take accountability.
Accountability is like the number one. There's nothing more pet peevish than somebody who just doesn't want to admit anything. And it's like, yo, I'm not doing this by myself. Like, come on. So accountability, creative adaptiveness. And this is what I mean by that. Seeing somebody be in a situation and be able to creatively understand, all right, this is how I need to move. This is how I need to, like, as your wife, I'm sure you trust her with certain things. Like, if this happens, I know she'll do this. Right. She'll maneuver this way. Yeah. So that's having a keen sense of self-awareness and understanding that this could happen this way, this could happen that way, whatever. Yeah. Softness. I think softness.
Okay. Okay.
Because if the woman has softness, that means she has a pot that you can bring your vulnerability to, and you guys can let it simmer and you guys can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think she has to have some sort of softness, because when you've created a hard shell over something for too long, and it's hard to get into that softness. It's like, I can't talk to you.
Right. You won't let me in.
You won't. I can't talk to you. So she got to have softness. So accountability, creative adaptiveness, self-awareness, softness, and I think one last one would be lightness. Softness and lightness. I think lightness is. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
The energy.
The energy is like, she has to have a spirit about her where it's like, okay, this person, we're all human. We go through things, but they figured out how to, either through meditation, either through reading or whatever, they figured out how to walk in their light.
And they figured out how they can evolve.
And you can see it easily off the bat, from the way they speak, from the way they carry themselves. Right. You can see it immediately off the bat, even from the way they may check you. Yeah. Like, hey, we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
okay, cool. No.
That wasn't.
I was just testing you. Seeing if you paying attention.
So I think those are some things that an evolved man looks for sure. Yeah.
So what does an evolved man look like?
Besides me, an evolved man looks like someone who knows the difference between masculine and feminine. That it's not a gender, it's an energy. You know what I'm saying? Because there are men who are very feminine and don't have masculine energy. Then there are women who have masculine. So
for sure,
I think an evolved man understands that. An evolved man understands intention. Of course, he understands intention. The evolved man looks like a homeowner. When you're a homeowner, you walk around confident because you know you got something to go back to.
Especially in LA. These homes are different.
These homes
out
different.
here, bro. These prices are different.
So when
out
you
here.
get a home, you walk. They be like, okay, I bought that, you know. And basically, I'm going back to what you're saying earlier. Like, a homeowner is just somebody who understands structure, foundation, building of a relationship, building of somebody. He looks like transparency for sure. Involved man looks like someone who can put the world on his shoulders and still smile about it. You know, like, sometimes we get, as men, our ego, that's basically an ego thing.
Right.
So sometimes men, we get so much weight on our shoulders, and then we're like, but man, everybody's after me, against me, you know, I'm a man, you know, But when you can carry that weight and still understand that all that weight's doing is making you stronger, I think that's an important trait to have, because then you're not looking at life negatively. You're lifting up. Like, you're like, all right, I'm here. I'm balancing it. Right. And then an evolved man knows when to sit down. Because sitting down involves being in solitude. Sitting down involves into listening. Listen to your inner spirit. Sitting down involves, most importantly, humbling yourself. Because as an alpha man, humbling yourself is so tough. You be like, what, man? Yeah. What? It's okay, dog. Sit down. It's cool. Right. Like, it doesn't take anything away from you. Right. You're just being humble. You're being in the moment. Yeah. And you know, that's what it is.
I love it. Yeah, and it's important to, you know, recognize here that I asked you what an evolved man looks for in a woman, and you did not mention anything about physicality.
Yeah, because if you understand that your energy is beautiful, then that beautiful energy is going to bring a beautiful woman to
right.
you.
She's going to glow all around.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And you'll be glowing as well.
So that's exactly what it is.
It's going to rub off on you. So, all right, let's get into the light stuff.
Okay, I'm down with the light stuff.
Class is now over.
All right.
This is recess.
I'm down with recess.
We're hoping.
Which also was a good cartoon as well.
We are entering the round of rapid fire questions.
Yeah, let's
There's
do
going to
it.
be 5. Rome has no idea what's coming his way.
Uh-oh.
And I keep it that way to get the raw, natural reaction. So, question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What is your number 1 goal for 2021?
My number 1 goal for 2021 is to be present. Stay present. Power of now. Understand that yesterday happened. Tomorrow's not here. All we have is now. Oh, now it's gone. Now we have another moment.
I love it.
So
see, but that's a man who's evolved, but also who has had some experience to give that answer.
Come on
you
now.
know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Okay, question number 2. What's one experience you've had in your life that you would consider life-changing?
Man.
Could be good or bad.
You're going to make me do this. All right, here we go. It was when I found out what my purpose was. I was about 26.
Okay.
I had an idea. I always thought that my purpose was to do comedy. It is to an extent. So my purpose, I always thought, just do comedy, to be a creator, whether it's comedy, music, whatever it is. I'm at the gas station in the Valley of California. This guy comes up to me. He looked maybe late 30s, early 40s, so I could see the gray. I could see. Anyway, he came up to me. He said, "Hey, are you Rome?" I said, "Yeah." And he about to sell me a mixtape or something.
right.
He was like, "Hey, man, can I talk to you for a second?" And it's funny. That's when I trust that spiritual alignment, because the physical me was like, "Man, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to pump gas," but the spirit was like, "Listen to what this guy says. It's so random. Like, let's see what this guy's talking about." He goes, "Hey, man, look, I just want to let you know, first and foremost, I'm a cancer survivor." And I said, "Oh, wow.
Okay.
He said, "I'm a big fan of yours." He said, "Let me tell you why." He said, when I was in the hospital, I was down on my luck. I was down to the point where I was like, you know what, God, just take me. I don't want to be in pain no more. You know what I'm saying? And he goes, but then one day I happened to be on YouTube and I come across this group of black men, because he was a black guy. He was like, I come across this group of black men doing sketches and all type of stuff. And he was like, it was just hours and hours of content. So I was like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
He said, so I started watching one video. I started laughing. He said, I hadn't laughed in months.
Wow.
He said, I started laughing again. He said, so week after week, I would just wait for you guys to drop videos. I would follow all of you on Instagram. I would just watch you and see the life in you and see the light that you're doing, the work that you're putting in, the consistency. And it made me be like, wait a minute, it's not time for me to go yet. Like I can. And so this man literally says, I'm here to tell you that you helped cure my cancer. And I said, what? I'm in the parking lot with this stranger crying, bro.
Bro, I got chills right now.
I'm just like, wait, what?
Wow.
He was like, and it was at that moment I said, oh, my purpose is to heal people. It's not even about what I do. It's just, am I healing somebody? What you're doing, who can relate? How am I helping?
Sure.
That's the higher purpose, in which that makes me excited about doing things like that. That makes me excited when I'm tired and I don't want to write a skit or something like that. I'm like, but let me get up and, because maybe today somebody needs to, so that's a moment that changed my life. Man. It was great. It was a great moment.
We got to let that marinate for a second, because
it was heavy, man.
Man, I
went home. I'm calling mom. I'm crying. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, this man just told me I helped cure his cancer. She's like, wait, what are you talking about? Now she crying because she happy. And I was like, it's all type of stuff, man. It was such a beautiful, vulnerable moment, and I'm so glad I stayed, because it really gave me that purpose, and that, because of course I could just go about and be like, I'm doing my career and that's fine, but like, what is the deep rooted thing that's gonna keep me here and keep me going?
And see, that's why it's so important to keep me here, right? Be present in all of that and be intentional. This is beautiful, man. I wish we would have led the whole show with that, but this is dope because, and again, I got chills from that story. The reason why that's so impactful is because it gave you your purpose. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the main key components to an evolved man is moving with purpose.
Absolutely.
Him being aware of what his purpose is, which now allows him to move with intention towards his goals, his purpose, so on and so forth. And a lot of men without purpose, without a sense of belonging, right? Or this is what I'm meant to do. That's when all the temptation takes over. That's when they try to fill voids with people.
Yeah, because you'll have a wife and kids in a home and you still won't be happy.
You're not happy.
You need purpose.
You're going to make me grab my quote sheet, dog. Come on now. Here's the quote sheet. It's easy in life to acquire success, but not have fulfillment. A lot of people don't understand that. Just because you're successful doesn't mean you're fulfilled. It doesn't mean you're happy.
It doesn't mean you're happy
right?
at all.
And that's so important. When you feel fulfilled, when you feel like you found your life purpose, watch how this man moves.
Watch how he moves.
Watch how he responds instead of reacts. He thinks before he speaks. He carries himself. He's got a little swagger to him, a little walk to him. It's got nothing to do with his clothes, nothing to do with his car. He's confident within himself, not cocky. Okay, question number 3. What do you want to be known for when you leave this earth? This just so happened to be in order.
That's funny. Using comedy and creativity as a form of medicine, healing people with what I do. Not even, it ain't got to be a deep healing. It can be, man, I smiled today, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean. Like when they think of Rome, they think of, I want them to think of a man, you know, eventually a father or a grandfather, a stand-up gentleman, somebody who brought light to a dark place, somebody who walked in a room and you like, I feel that guy. Like I see what's going on. So I think that's what I want to be remembered for. I don't need to be remembered for money. I would love to be, of course you'll remember my accolades. I think those come because we have the internet, those will be around. Sure. But the human in me, that's what's really that's what's going to stay with people. Yeah.
You want to leave an impact at the end of the day. Question number 4. What is something you want women to know about men? Now, we gave them a lot.
Yeah, no, for sure. We be tripping.
Keep it real. I appreciate you. Yeah.
We be tripping.
It's true.
I get it. We
Forgive us. Be gentle.
We be tripping.
Hold that space for us. We have our moments.
Yeah.
And I love it. All right. Last question for you. What does Rome admire most about Rome?
My discipline, man. I'm disciplined like no other. Like I don't know if it's just the Aries fire that's in my bones, but like when I lock into something, I lock in and I don't deter from it. So that's why I know when I really find my person to do life with, it's gonna be, we're gonna go for a ride. You know what I'm saying? So I would say my discipline and my unwavering faith. So both of those things. I'm a very faithful guy, and I just truly believe that what's meant to be is meant to be, and that we have everything that's in us. Sometimes it takes a question to get it out of us. Right. That's why even when people ask for advice, I answer it with a question. And most of the time they answer. And when you think about it, they be like, wait, why didn't I just? You just need somebody to course you through it. But we have everything we need. So my faith and my discipline, like it just, being disciplined is one of the most important things you can have. Like I said, in life, this is a discipline thing. Like to set this up and do, like, this is a discipline thing. He's doing it on his own, people. Like
there's no one behind the cameras.
It's like you know what I'm saying? That's amazing. So
appreciate you, dog. That's really important. It's actually something I've constantly trying to work on. I was spoiled as a kid, bless my mom's heart, and
good old moms.
I didn't have to work hard for a lot.
For sure.
And I didn't really truly grasp the whole concept of if it's worth having, it won't come easy. I was like, everything's come easy for me, so why would this be different?
It just gives it me.
And I was like driven to prove society and facts wrong. Go figure. That's the Aquarius in me. Stubborn as hell. And so I had to realize the hard way. Oftentimes that discipline for the win, as me and my boys say.
The win. One more thing I want to add to Lays about men, that we're builders. What I mean by that is inside and out. We're builders in the sense of, like, we like to build family, community, and things like that, but we're also builders on the inside. So that's why you had to give us time, because building takes a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's one little bit I wanted to add.
Oh, but for sure. Okay, so we've moved to the last part of the episode.
All right.
This is the acknowledgement moment. This is where I acknowledge my guest.
Oh, man.
And I wrote a couple things down for you.
Oh, man.
Cue the music.
I'm excited.
Which is me editing. There's no
All
team.
Right. Facts.
Right. Okay. I want to start with acknowledging you for who you are as a man, what you represent, what you stand for, all the things that you so beautifully, so articulately were able to share with everyone. It is a rare thing. Unfortunately, it's a rare thing for now. Yeah. We're doing our part out here, trying to help out. But
next 100 years is gonna be different.
Yeah. I also acknowledge you for striving to want to be better. Again, not settling for complacency, not just being comfortable. Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. Yeah. I mean, some guy recommends at the gas station. I'm good. I made it now. You know what I'm saying? I got a certified, verified check mark. I'm good. I'm chilling. Yeah. So I appreciate the strive to want to be better. Your ability and willingness to show vulnerability. Again, I keep saying on here, ladies and men, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness.
Not at all.
It is a sign of strength, of bravery. It's the path to victory. So again, the fact that you can tap into that level of vulnerability, whether you're on the show, whether you're on all your platforms, it is appreciated, it's seen, and we need more like you.
Thank you, bro.
And also showcasing your comfortability and inspiring others to do all the above, to show vulnerability, to practice what you preach in the discipline department, your consistency in your work. So again, you and I are new to each other's lives, but I did some research, and I was like, this guy is working. I mean, he's working. I was like, you posted a video today. I'm like, how many production companies? Who's this now? Is this Rome, the KFC black guy? Is this Rome?
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm like, this guy does it all. And that's why it was so important to read that script of your accolades and what you do, because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And I respect the hell out of that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And last but not least, for coming on the show, for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
For being comfortable, being maybe uncomfortable, maybe not.
Yeah,
and
I applaud you for what you're doing. Like I said, I was a fan of the show before you knew me.
Appreciate that.
And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I can't wait to go on the show. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I knew I was going to be on here. I literally knew, because I already knew you were with Jared. I was like, something's going to happen to where I'm going to be on it. And Jared already asked me to be on Enjoy the Podcast. So I was like, there's no way I'm not going on here. And there's certain people you just look at and you know, and you like, this guy's doing something. That's you, man. So I appreciate you, dog. Yeah, definitely keep doing what you're doing.
Well, for me, it was when you busted out the Way of the Superior Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because usually for the men that we've had on Enjoy the Podcast, Afion was great. He was he is an evolved man.
Really good.
I would say he is an evolved man.
Good people.
We had Shan's dad on. That was just funny.
That was fun. That was great.
But this was something when I saw how you moved and how you spoke, and again where you were at, I was like, oh, okay, it's the prime candidate for Who Can Relate. So it's going to help out a lot of people. So guys, if this helped you out, I'm sure it did, please share it, please like it, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and fellas, I hope you guys are listening. You know, there's a majority of the audience is women, but for the men out there, you guys ask me so many times about what books do you read, and I want to get better, and what can I do, and what did you do? Like, it's the work. It's the work. Like, listen to what Rome is telling you. These are coming from personal experiences. And ladies, I hope this gives you hope. I hope this gives you hope. Chivalry is not dead.
No, it's not dead.
There's good men out here, and they're not all married. So,
and if you, like I said, if you guys want to speak, like, I'm sure he'll link the
Oh, please shout all that out. I almost forgot. So let people know where they can find you.
Yeah.
And if you're working on any projects you want to announce, whatever.
Well, we just have I'm not sure when this is coming out, but we just released a project with Black Oak Television called Untold Stories with Unknown People, 8 parody documentary series. Shady Side Up has been doing well. Thank you for rocking the shades.
Oh, no doubt.
We have a new spring collection coming out in the next month and a half, so that's going to be good. I have my podcast, 2 podcasts. One is called The Comedy Trap House, where we talk about everything current events, but we also talk about anything that just happens, in life. And we just try to make it funny and keep it light. Then I have my podcast, Boss Talk, which you can get on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Comedy Trap House. And Boss Talk is really just about inspiration, almost like Who Can Relate, just topics like whether it's spiritual alignment, whether it's just working hard, whether it's all these things that are just complacency, discipline, all these things we speak about, and we drop those gems and jokes for your advancement and your growth. And you can find me on the platforms, Twitter at iRoamalot. Instagram is really one I use the most, so at iRoamalot on Instagram. I try my best to check my DMs and respond back to people, because I truly love when people say, hey, look, you helped me, and I try my best to hit people back when I can. For sure. And those are everything. And then follow my group. The main thing, follow my group at Dormtainment, DORMTAINMENT on all platforms to get updates on everything. So
yes, sir. All that will be linked. It's already been popping up throughout the episode. I'll make sure people can find you, people get a hold of you and in touch with you, and continue to watch the journey, dog. Watch the process. So full gratitude for you for coming on.
Blessings,
for
brother.
who you are.
Thank you.
And we'll have to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right. Peace.